Oops, sorry, I had it on mute. I hadn't really started yet, so thank goodness. Jeepers. I don't know what happened. Sometimes, like last week, I taped a whole show on Spotify on mute. I was so frustrated. But I was wondering why there were no words coming up on the screen. So, anywho, what I was getting at is we're talking about our world news this week and talking about our world leaders and how a lot of times they act so um, immature. I think is my word, immature. We do things as well, and a lot of times individuals look to these leaders for support. People, I can't believe like when I go out in the streets, how it's like some people they have this reasoning and the way that they do things, which is beyond understanding for me because they do a lot of weird things. Um, and it's very scary when it comes down to it, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that we keep succinct with what we're doing, but also that we all maintain. And maintaining doesn't mean you go out and, hurt someone or murder someone. But sometimes these people do the craziest things and it's unfreaking believable. One of the things I was looking at is why Biden and Trump are both focused on auto workers. What the hell? Like, do we not exist? I mean, I'm not, I guess as a presidential elected, you're going to have an opinion about several different things, but you're likely to have rivals and racings and earn the support of blue collar workers. I get that. However, what about the rest of the people? Because I'm trying to figure out who makes the decision on whether or not the blue collar workers are the going to pull in the biggest votes. Because now, I mean, those of us who are becoming very independent and very much into our own entrepreneurship, what about us? Do they not care enough to basically make sure that they're getting our votes? I don't know who I would vote for at this point because a lot of them are just crazy, plum crazy. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so I think it's just ridiculous. Joe Biden became the first sitting U.S. president, basically, to join workers on a picket line when he stood with striking members in the UAW, the United Auto Workers. And so in Michigan yesterday, he was telling picketers that they deserve a significant raise. Okay, who doesn't? Who doesn't deserve a significant raise, Joe Biden? We all do. What about some of those uh uh oh shoot, I forgot what they were called. I want to say stipends, but that's not what the word is. What about those you know, money that they gave us, whatever. Anyway, my mind, I will say I've been on pain medication for the last couple of days because I had a surgery. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but I had to stop taking the oxycodone because I couldn't wake up. Number one, and it was only 5 milligrams. For some people on drugs, that ain't nothing, but for me, woo. But anyway, back to Joe Biden. His presidential predecessors in 2024, which basically more likely would be Donald Trump. They are trying to go to the Great Lakes state. Okay, so while they're over in Michigan, also Trump plans to appear in front of a current and retired UAW member at a non-union auto supplier. And so with this, they're supposed to have this dual visit and come, around 18,000 people um, have a they're supposed to do a dual visit, and this is amid a 18,000 person walkout in the union is staging at Ford, GM, and Stellantis facilities. So, with that being said, both of these politicians, in my opinion, like you're beating a dead horse. Oh God, here he comes. He found me. Hi. What are you doing, Dashy Poo? Are you just trying to figure out where you're trying to go first? You could stay here. You want to be on the show? I'll pet you for a little while. But anyway, the big picture is any presidential candidate needs Michigan to win. Period. Oh, here's his sister. Now she don't like to be held. She just wants to come and be present. So here they are. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about them because they like to step on the keyboard. It frustrates me, but I'm not going to be upset because I made it here successfully. There they go. They're looking. Come on, Blue Blue. Thank you, ma'am. Uh oh. Get out of the way. Thank you, ma'am. But anyway, so with the union rank and file with Trump, who he has gained, Trump has gained a union rank and file, and Biden has been falling out of favor with the union rank and file, whereas Trump is gaining favor. Now, I'm not sure what it is that he's doing. A lot of people said that Trump did his thing when we were going through COVID and all that other crap. I I hate to say that I'm not a big political person, but I was brought up like that, not really into the politics, mainly because, you know, I feel that I'm more spiritual, and spirituality, I feel, ranks over political. But because we live in this world, it does behoove us to pay attention to what's going on. Okay. We can't just be, um, uh, be, um, uh oh, aloof amid all of these changes that are taking place. And so, with that being said, with this UAW, they're not voting Magna yet. The union leaders, they blasted Trump for what they claim he are broken promises to create new auto making jobs during his presidency. He didn't fulfill, and maybe because he didn't have more than the 4 years. But even in that 4 years, he didn't really do anything to make it a big deal for them or make it seem like he was on their side. Nationwide is on your side, but he wasn't on their side. And so the unionized workers, according to um, a poll that was done in August, one on a Michigan firm, they were slightly more likely to support Trump than Biden, despite preferring Biden as a recent June elected. So, we have these things going on. I don't know what you believe, but leave it in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are about this because, we can't really figure it out until we know. It is what it is. And the whole situation going on with our presidency, it's been a laughing stock, if you ask me, because you got people in who can't do nothing, got people that's out that can't do nothing, that think they can. And when they do get in there, they don't do it. And I don't know, I don't think the American people forget, but nobody really holds them accountable for that mess. And that's one of the things I think is our biggest issue, you know. Um, so we got to be adamant in terms of making sure that we are staying on top of things because these things that are happening are they're really not benefiting us at any point, right? So hey, but I wanted to ask what you guys thought. They keep talking about a potential government shutdown. A lot of experts have been warning that the longer a shutdown lasts, the more losses start spreading. So, in my opinion, I feel like, we were we went through this back during COVID, and it was something that I feel like it was a test. It was like, okay, let's see if, this is really going to happen, and so on and so forth. And so when it did happen, it became this huge ordeal because they were like, oh my God, it really happened. What are we going to do? No, let's leave it like this because you know what? Maybe we can basically keep these people this way and that way, and we don't have to worry about what to do, we'll just let it happen the way it's happening. And it did. It kind of took us out of the loop from things and made it seem like we were just losing it, that we didn't have anything to stop. I'm so over things right now. This is the kind of stuff that happens when you're doing the podcast. I got the kittens, and then I placed an order for Vaughn's grocery store to deliver me something, and they're calling me, and I don't understand what they're calling for. Gee, they're probably trying to make a substitution, but the order is not even supposed to be delivered until 6, and I still have an hour and 30 minutes. But anyway, I was just basically saying, and my podcasts are always like this because something is always messing with me right in the middle because it's a test. But it shall not win, period. Anyway, experts warn that longer shutdowns will last more than, ouch, losses start spreading. My foot hurts because I have to keep it elevated, but it's like all the blood is going down to my foot. But anyway, so there's still time for a last minute deal, but unless the Republican House Speaker, basically Kevin McCarthy, can break his slate mate with right wing members of the party, um, the new spending bill, then the federal government will have to pack up on October 1st. But of course, that's not going to happen. It's like all these threats take over, and everybody gets all shook up, and that's why the world gets crazy because y'all, and I'm talking about our public people, are human. We have the final and last say. And if you keep on letting this government tell you stuff in the media and you believe it, then it's going to take over. Period. Point blank. It's like they win every time because we're not standing up. And those of us standing up, we don't have the wherewithal to do it by ourselves when the people with the money or whoever, powers that be aren't doing it either. But if you're not a park ranger or someone who relies on food assistance programs like WIC and, which only has a few days of contingency funds available, to be honest with you. So that's another thing on WIC. Won't be any problem with that. But the government's furlonging workers, and not even our new cash will have far-reaching consequences that could impact everybody. So there's just some distributions to expect if you're a traveler or an investor, or if you're a government contractor. Government contractors, there's most federal employees usually receive back pay when the government eventually, um, when they eventually start up again. But millions of people and millions of dollars are being uh, are not going to be recuperated. They estimate that like $1.9 million is basically that $1.9 million will stand to lose every day the government's closed. So I don't know. We got to keep our eye out on that. I don't know if it's legit. You know, I don't know what you believe, but the big picture is that most of the experts are warning that the longer the shutdown lasts, the more losses, like I said, that'll spread. But during that last shutdown, it went 5 weeks. And then the United States economy lost $3 billion based on what the Congressional Budget Office had to say. So we got to keep our eye out on that. Who knows what really is going on? We only get what we get, and we have to go by that. The IRS will probably be just fine because they're funding boosts from the Inflation Reduction Act. And so um, the Postal Service will still deliver our bills. You see what I'm saying? So we can't win for losing in this world. And if I have one wish to wish on the world news, is that we would be talked to like adults and that we would be given honest information and we would not continuously be put in a place where we're slighted. So that has been Dina Marie Live in our world news. And I hope that we all as a nation can come together and do what we got to do. I'll be right back after this with our trending topics. Thank you guys. I'll see you back. Thank you.